and welcome to the Horror House Podcast. I'm Dave.
I'm Chris.
Jeff.
I'm Tim.
We're four guys that like to talk about some horror stuff. Sometimes it's real life, sometimes most of the time it's movies. And today is a movie. And we are talking about a hot topic. It is so hot and so sensually nude for most of it. It's disturbing. The substance.
I forget which one of you loves it and which one of you hates it, so I'm excited because I have my own feelings. So that is what we were talking about tonight. Well, we've kind of talked about it.
See who's got a trashy mind.
We got a lot.
I have strong opinions about this movie, so I'm gonna let you guys fight it out. But I do have strong opinions.
Everybody's opinion is wanted.
This is the trial that America has been waiting for. So
this is true.
Will we come to a conclusion? Will the Horror House stand? Is this the last episode? It's possible.
I may never tug on your beard again.
I'm gonna start my own
My
Horror
beard
House
would be so
with cocaine, hookers,
endless eggs.
JW?
Endless eggs.
Tim just channeled the ghost of JW.
Why do you assume he's dead? He's going to run for Congress, I have a feeling.
How do you assume he's not?
Have you seen RFK? The body finds a way.
way.
19 used to give out the measles by the dozen.
Your mic is refusing your impression.
You read no, sir. Yeah, think that's the polio.
You did that so like on beat. I was vibing before it ended. All right, we got some news. Well, a couple of us have some news.
Yeah.
So, you want to jump into some news, or anybody got anything they want to say?
Let's go
Before
to
we
the
do some news?
newsroom.
To the newsroom?
To the newsroom.
Hold on, I'm new.
First time.
Every time.
Tim is
It's
reaching
great
for.
to see you guys here in the newsroom once again.
We're
Hey,
here.
my prop.
We used to actually have a newsroom, but now we just in spirit.
Now
It's the
we're-
newsroom.
We're citizen journalists now. we left the mainstream journalism and we are citizen journalists now.
So give me some news. Give me some news. Me and Jeff are here with our thumbs. Who knows what they'll do?
All right. Let's start off. I got a trailer, the Clown in the Cornfield trailer. I was skeptical. Like, I've seen a little bit of shit. Clown in the Cornfield.
Based on a book?
It looks like it's going to be just mindless fun slasher. Friendo the Clown. Kevin Durand. I did not realize Kevin Durand is like playing the small town mayor.
The basketball player?
Not Durant. Kevin Durand played in The Strain. He was in Abigail. He's the
okay.
The Planet of the Apes guy.
Yeah.
He
So
appropriated race and played Mexican in that one Butterfly Effect. Or was it an Asian?
yeah,
I forget.
I mean,
Just saying.
you gotta take the parts you can get.
He's great. I think he's great.
Yeah. Fez in The Strain, which is one of the best vampire TV series I've ever seen. So he's in that. I love his character in that. It seems like a genuine guy. I watched an interview with him this week. He seems like a genuine guy.
Yeah.
Did not realize till today that he was in the Clown in the Cornfield movie. So
Cool.
The trailer is out. Watch it. It looks pretty entertaining. Just a mindless slasher, fun slasher. Friendo the Clown.
I want to say maybe Mac has brought up Clown in a Cornfield, the book, to us before. I may be mistaken.
Okay, I think so. I think maybe you're right.
Yeah.
I think there's a series of books.
I think there's a couple of them. Yeah. What slasher would be complete? Would not be complete without sequels? None. I say.
The book is way more nuanced as a slasher than the movie. The movie is just mindless fun.
The inner monologue is what
the
makes
next trailer.
it.
Yeah. I like the inner monologue of the clown as he's eviscerating the girl and stuffing her full of popcorn.
The song he sings to himself is real nice. Stuff in some popcorn. Stuff in some popcorn.
The next trailer I watched is a new A24 trailer.
Okay.
You know how I get around the A24s. I get about A4 inches. So, Bring Her Back trailer. It is. I don't even know what's going on. Like, are dead people coming back? Is there some kind of ritual? I don't know. It looks like a mindfuck, which is what A24 is kind of good for. Like,
yeah,
movies that kind of make you think a little bit with your horror. So it's a teaser trailer. I'm in. I will not be watching. I'm going to set
no more trailers.
I'm going to set my challenge out to myself. No more trailers.
I like it.
No more trailers. I'm not going to ruin something. I want to watch it.
All right.
I want to watch it cold. Tim, I think you had something, and then I got one last piece of news to wrap us up before we get started.
Yeah. So I got. Hello, welcome to your survival horror video game news. I have so the Thing, the 2002 game, is getting a remaster, which it looks pretty cool. They are doing away with the scripted infections of your squad mates, so that your squad mates can only get infected if they are touched by the Thing monster, right? So, Chris and I were talking about it before we started, and he got hard locked
back in the day
from progressing the game because of the built-in infections. So
I mean, I don't know what year the original came out, but like I had 2002. I had it then, like within that year, because I love the Thing and I wanted the game. It's a great game until I couldn't go further, and I'm intrigued to see if this fixes what I happened, and I never played it again, which is not what you would typically want from a game. I feel like. I mean, I don't know.
I'm still looking for PsyOps, the Mindgate Conspiracy Volume 2, which was a great pseudo horror game.
That was a very good, cool game.
Tim, did you see that they're making another Onimusha?
I did hear they're making like a Super Mario Bros. 3 or something like that.
There actually is an Onimusha TV series coming out, by the way. And there's an Onimusha remaster, which is a great survival horror game as a samurai. So
was there horror in the
same sort of? What's that?
Was there horror in Onimusha?
Yeah, it's all demons, and like it's
like Devil May Cry.
Resident Evil. No, it's like Resident Evil with swords.
Oh, I thought it was
like
more
tank controls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm in. You son of a bitch, I'm in.
I've played all three of them. Yeah, that's
played
one
them.
Of my Onimusha 1 was one of my favorites.
Can I get nunchucks?
No, it's all swords and cool armor.
Wow.
Dave, you know what you need?
I'm back in.
You need Neo 2. Because you like some of that Dark Souls.
Like the Matrix?
Kinda.
Yeah.
NIOH 2. There's so many weapons and shit. I think you would like it.
Or Max Payne 3.
Okay.
Or Max Payne 3 is fucking absolutely great too.
Yeah.
Next news.
There's another
right now
game.
I'm playing Stella and I are playing Sackboy, so can it compete with that?
Sackboy's great.
Well,
that's like Jason
Little Nightmares 3 is also coming out in 2025. So that's a little co-op-y Sackboy kind of game that you can play. The other one that I'm excited
is Howie Mandel in it.
I don't
Little
think
Monsters
so.
3 is Howie Mandel in it.
Oh,
I don't think he's
Little
in
Monsters.
that. I don't think he's in 3.
That is.
He's terrifying in that movie.
There is so much straight horror in that movie. It's impressive. I am still disturbed.
It's allegedly for children.
We'll have to do an
Speaking
episode
of
on
for
that.
children, PJ Sam. Did anyone play PJ Sam on the computer back in the day in the 90s?
Doesn't even ring a bell to me.
Okay, so it's like a point and click adventure game on the computer, and the very first one is PJ Sam, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this running. I ran like a DOS virtual system on my computer to get it running, to get Orion, my son, to play it. And he got too scared of it in about 30 seconds because the 90s goes hard when it comes to don't be afraid of shit. It's like, don't be afraid of shit, so we're gonna give you aversion therapy and just bombard you with it. So it's kind of funny. But Alien Isolation 2 is confirmed, so we are going to get an Alien Isolation 2. Will the AI be as good as the first one? We don't know. And the only other one that I am really interested about is called Paranormal Tales. It's a found footage game, much in the vein of like the Blair Witch Project, but it's an Unreal Engine 5, which I don't know if you guys have seen the Unreal Engine 5 footage.
It's like real life.
Hyper realistic. So
More realistic than realism, I think, is what they said.
It's too real.
Probably. We're all in a simulation. Flat
real.
Earth.
I
So, but it looks really creepy. You watch the found footage and then you investigate the area where the found footage was found. So, so you have clues going into the thing of like what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
And Paranormal Tales, I think you guys should check that out because it looks really, really creepy. In fact, when it comes out, I'm probably going to buy it. And then, because it is coming out on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and PC.
Are they ever going to ditch the last
Not
generation?
Nintendo 64?
To be
Is it
determined.
coming out for the 64?
It is not coming for Nintendo 64. I'm sorry, Nintendo 64.
But
Red
there's
Nintendo
always
64
somebody
sitting there
that
on
does
the
like a
shelf.
demake that does like the old like they
Oh,
make which is always fun to see.
There is a Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which came out on the Wii U or the Switch, and the Wii U, or Game Boy Advance. Like they've demaked it to that level, so that's pretty impressive.
Those are neat. I would never play one, but I think they're neat.
I think one of my real life streams that I get to pick, I think I may have you guys just play this game with me. Like I'll play it, screen share it with you guys, and then we'll walk through and do some paranormal investigation together.
Can I put me and Dave and Jeff as like Mystery Science Theater 3000 and like put us in the corner like the...
So I can't hear you, but the audience can, and I'm just like, fuck, shit, fuck, that's scary, fuck.
You're making
What's over here? Oh, no.
Hold on. So we're gonna have to be able to hear you, but you can't hear us.
I'll just mute you I'll mute you in Discord. You don't mute me. It's way easier than you're making it.
Okay. Thank God.
I got this. But yeah, so I think it'd be a fun one. But yeah,
right.
so that's my news there. Paranormal Tales looks really cool. You guys should check it out. The Thing from 2002, I've only played it one time. I rented it for like a weekend. So I'd like to check that out. And then Alien Isolation 2 is confirmed and coming out. So we got that to look forward to.
All right. 2 thumbs up on all the news. One more news.
One last piece of news. This is not any thumbs up. Sad to say. Just about an hour and a half before we come live tonight, I learned of the passing of one character actor, Peter Jason, frequently of the John Carpenters.
Yep.
He was most famously, he was the guy that managed the homeless encampment in They Live, but he was in Prince of Darkness, In the Mouth of Madness, Village of the Damned, 1995, They Live, Alien Nation, Body Bags, Congo, which I feel is kind of underrated, like kind of forgotten about horror movie, Escape from L.A., and the amazing, snubbed by the Academy, Ghosts of Mars.
I would say
he was also in
with Ice Cube.
With Ice Cube and Jason Statham and Pam Grier. He was also in Dreamscape, where he starred alongside a certain Dennis Quaid, who we will be talking about tonight.
I know of his brother. Yes.
Just a great character actor, and obviously like a dude for John Carpenter. So
I'll do one for Peter Jason. He was great. Prince of Darkness is one of my favorites.
I got some shitty ass gold tequila with you.
But,
Oh,
they just left us out, Jeff. Did you feel that? We were just.
Yeah.
You guys didn't lift your drinks up.
Tim, Jeff, are you gonna drink with us?
You didn't lift your drinks up. What do you? I can't. I don't control your arms. What do you want? What do you have? You got to lift it up. You got to lift it up.
You saw us.
We just want to feel included.
You're included, Jesus.
Oh my God.
Why would you include Jesus?
That's some shitty ass tequila.
I'm feeling like there's some segregation between the right side here and the left side over there.
But really, it's some kind of a way. I don't know.
Fucking apartheid.
I'm not trying to sway the jury tonight. I'm just saying, before the show, Chris and I were the first ones on, and I said we should include those guys more, and Chris was like, "Fuck them." But anyway, let's get out of the newsroom and start the movie.
They know me. They know me, Dave. They know me like you know me. Come here, let me tug your beard one more time before we're not friends again. All right. Well, it is time. Right. It is time to talk about
Before we start, I do have a little something, because we're not here to perform in front of the court of public opinion. We're here to perform to court.
Your computer is not performing. Period.
Yeah, you were a robot there. We're not here to perform for the court of public opinion. We're here to perform for who?
The court of law. I've changed my background. Yeah.
Okay.
We have a military tribunal here. This is serious business.
Okay.
I know that judge. That is from A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men and a Woman.
That's true.
The porn parody is called A Few Men Good. I thought that was hilarious. Fuck me.
No, it cut off.
Fuck off, news. Everybody's against me. Everybody's against me.
What was the punchline?
It's still going. What the fuck? I said the porn parody is called A Few Men Good.
That is good. That is good.
That's why I had to cancel the show. Like it was too good of a joke to not get a laugh. I didn't get one laugh until the future.
It cut off.
Yeah. If I could have went to the future and heard the laughs, it would have saved the show in that moment. We're back though. We're back. This week, we were talking about The Substance. It's my birthday in 3 fucking days, and I wasted my pick to get a fight between me and Dave on the internet. What kind of dedication as a friend, as a co-host do you get for such things? I should be picking Prince of Darkness. I should be picking Jaws.
I'm in.
But I am picking the Demi Moore nudity-led Substance. And here's my VHS back of the box description. I didn't write anything out. I'm gonna wing it. You like boobs and butts? Well, very quickly you're gonna feel uncomfortable. Do you want to rent this?
Very nice. Very nice. No, that's a great synopsis. That's a great synopsis. That's a teaser trailer synopsis. That leaves us wanting more. I like it. That works. You just made this movie better.
I'm sure I did.
Well, it's a lot of boobs and butts.
Not even just boobs and butts. It is tight shots.
Yeah, no.
It
Yes.
is tight shots.
I think that is part of the horror, and I'll explain my point later. But
Yeah.
No, there's a point in it. Yes.
Yes.
But let's.
So this is your movie, Chris. So let's hear your first point.
What?
You
Okay,
give
so
me the
hold
argument.
on.
Is the
So-
substance a good movie?
So that the viewers are aware here, Dave thinks that this is a good movie. Chris vehemently
I'm not gonna say
believes it is not a good movie.
I'm not gonna say it's a bad movie, but I'm gonna say it is overhyped. There is not what is
didn't-
here.
Okay. So as a juror, I am unbiased here because I didn't know there was a bunch of hype for this movie. I've never heard of this movie.
This is on a lot of lists, horror like fandom on the internet as the #1 movie of 2024, the #1 horror movie. Over
I mostly hear this as in the top 3.
it's
mostly what I hear people say for 2024 is this, Nosferatu, and Cuckoo.
Have they
as
seen
their
Jack
three.
Frost? Have they seen Jack Frost?
Tim.
2024.
Right. If they watch Jack Frost in 2024,
Oh,
it
it
can
just
be their
wins
top horror pick
in
of 2024.
perpetuity
True.
each year.
And
it just
everyone should
wins.
watch that on a yearly basis. So
This year they're
Just
giving
saying.
other films a chance. Demi Moore won a Golden Globe for her performance in this, and she's kind of in line to win the Best Actress Oscar for this, which is kind of bananas. For this,
Yeah.
a horror movie.
I did think her acting
This is
was
their
good.
first major award nomination ever.
and it's for a horror movie.
She was kind of
Which-
great. She was kind of great. So
There were actually
yeah.
there were two horror movies up for Best Picture this year, first time ever, because Nosferatu is up as well.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's weird. That's
it,
so
it speaks
weird.
to your golden age of horror, Dave, that you keep preaching on. So
Thank
it
you.
really does.
Yeah.
So Dave likes this movie. Chris does not like this movie. They want to kind of duke it out and
Now-
discuss.
Now I'm not shutting you two out because I want your opinions on this too. Yeah, we'll just start off with our opinions real quick. I don't love it. Dave is a fan. Tim, Jeff, fan, not fan? What's
Jeff
your...
first.
It was good. Not fan, but it was good.
Okay.
Yeah, I went in and I was apprehensive because I thought it was going to be like overly sexual, and it was, but
Yeah.
it was so overtly sexual that it made you uncomfortable.
Let's talk
In
about
my
that
First
first.
opinion.
say, question for the jury. Question for Tim. Would you say that the media is the message here?
Don't bring Cronenberg into this. I'll delete this whole
Yes.
internet.
Objection! Let the witness answer the question.
Yeah, I would say yes, absolutely. It speaks volumes at the ending, which we'll get to. But absolutely.
This
But
might be my favorite episode ever, guys. Thank you.
God.
but it's so overtly sexual. Like I literally had to pause the movie, turn to my wife that was playing Smite 2, and be like, okay, they're shooting this to be like, look at this ass, like blah blah blah. They're shooting it in such an overt sexual way that it's making me uncomfortable. Like this is part of the horror. Is
Yeah.
like this is too much.
Sure.
Absolutely agree.
Like tantalize. Don't fucking just like throw asses in my face. So it was I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I think what's interesting about this is that I was invested in the characters, which rarely happens in a horror film. So for me anyway.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So
So
yeah.
let's talk about that. I'll bring up my point one. The amazing cinematography. This movie was written and directed by Coralie Fargo, who my only experience with her movies, she's only done like 5 movies, was Revenge from a couple years ago, which I thought is a great revenge domestic violence movie.
Okay.
Set in the Australian outback. I thought it was a phenomenal.
I don't watch Australian
but
cinema
here
usually.
she tops herself, and the cinematography by Benjamin Cracoun. This movie was shot in France.
Benjamin
You
Cracoun?
know how I get it. I get like this for that French extremist horror. And even though this is an American movie, this is a French extremist American movie. Shot entirely in France. And it is great. Benjamin Cracoun, previously director of, or cinematographer for Promising Young Woman and Beast. Promising Young Woman, again, is another movie with a kind of feminist message. It's a different feminist message.
Okay.
In Promising Young Woman, the young woman is the predator who feigns being the prey in order to lure in her prey. So it's a much different movie. It is very good though. But I want to point out a couple of shots that I thought the cinematography was amazing. One, the way the apartment is laid out, where you have the picture of Liz directly opposite the billboard of Sue. And so you have this dichotomy and this tension between the two of them, even in scenes where only one of them is in.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And they do a good cut back and forth of them staring at each other. The photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can imagine a poor person having to live with the side of a billboard facing directly into their apartment. But a rich person is not going to pick an apartment that a billboard is directly facing into them, let alone their own billboard. It's going to be, no. Hold on. What that billboard actually should be showing is fucking, what's his name? The fucking hammer, the heavy hammer, the hammer of justice. What's his name? Daryl Isaacs. It should be Daryl Isaacs looking into the fucking apartment being like, have you been in a car accident?
I
Tell me I'm wrong.
I have a question.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I have a question for Jeff. Related to this point. Jeff, imagine Elon Musk in his condo. Do you think he would pay extra to have a billboard of his own face outside the apartment? I think he would. Jeff.
He would. You're right.
That's what I was going to say.
Vanity.
I think that's part of her the contract for her apartment is that the studio buys out that billboard.
Even
these guys
Elizabeth,
are playing a dangerous game, ganging up on me like this already.
Even as Elizabeth is being sold downstream for her age, she is so trained that she is looking for this male approval. Like, Sue knows what's going on in this situation here, and she is still gaga over everything Dennis Quaid has to say.
By the way, did you know that was? Did you know that was supposed to be Ray Liotta? But he passed away.
I did know that, and then he died before the film.
I just
would
saw
have been
that today.
Fantastic in this role.
That could have. I don't
Baby
know.
Blue Eyes for sure.
That could have changed.
Hold on, not to cut you off, Dave, but the jury has a question. So you made your cinematography point. That's your point. So we're gonna go back to Chris's point here. Chris, what's your second point? Why this is not a great movie?
Do I have to defend against him saying the cinematography is good?
You can. I mean, Jeff and I are going to decide who wins. I'm going to decide who wins the debate based on your debate. I'm not going to sway my opinion on the movie.
Well, I need to comment on his comment then to be a debate, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the cinematography. I feel like if I may bring in the pacing a little bit too with this discussion. I'm sorry. I think it's okay. I think the cinematography is okay. There's a lot of clean shots and a lot of tight, uncomfortable shots, like we talked about. To like we didn't talk about this. Like we've talked about the zoom in on the butts and the boobies, which is at first you're like, count me in, but then quickly you're like, can you give me some breathing room? Jesus Christ, I feel like I could smell this movie. So But we also get the executive, Dennis Quaid. Dave, sing "Arms of an Angel" real quick.
The arms
For pennies a day.
of an angel.
You can help Randy Quaid keep
Why
on living.
can't I remember
Keep on
the
living.
words of
Because
the
he's
song?
drowning in debt and legal fees.
Arms
We need to save
and
Randy
angels.
Quaid.
And angels have arms
Good job.
around us.
Good job, buddy. Thank you. For Randy Quaid.
The cinematography on Randy Quaid, I'm not off of cinematography yet. The cinematography,
Dave's
it
cheating
makes
into
you
my time.
uncomfortable on the girl.
He is.
Dave,
But I do want to hear his point because I also have notes on this cinematography, so I want to hear it.
When we're close upping on the girls, we're close upping on boobs and butts, man. The things that everybody loves. Who doesn't love the B's and the boobs, and the butts and the B's and the BBs? When we close up on Dennis Quaid here, he's eating. That scene, he ate. Wow, I can't remember. It's either 2 or 4 pounds of shrimp for that scene. He's got it stuck in his teeth. He's intentionally making a mess. Every scene of his face is angled and close up because he's actually the fucking disgusting one, and the movie is trying to let us know he's fucking disgusting, but he's a man. He gets a pass. It's the commodification of the women's body. No one's kicking his ass out when he hits 50. And he's wanting to kick Demi Moore out of her successful show when she hits 50. By the way, let me point out, Demi Moore was actually 58 when she filmed her nude scenes for this, and he looks good for 58. But I'll move on.
I would like that time
close-
to be struck from my reply. Courts.
Real quick, the close-ups of his boots are really telling as well, because he wears that heavy steel heel to like make his presence known as he's walking. That's a fragile man. That you have to wear these like heavy steel heeled boots. Like, they make a point to show the heel.
Have you guys never been in tap dancing or known somebody that was a tapper?
Okay, first of all, tap dancing shoes don't look like that. But
yeah,
yes,
poor people
that was
don't.
like fragile. That was like fragile masculinity. Like it was so funny. But I'm sorry, Chris. Your point.
I've lost my point because it was stolen from me by Beard Guy.
You wanted to talk about the cinematography and how you.
I didn't. That's what Dave brought up.
You said you want to make a counterpoint to it, though.
Yeah, and now I'm so far removed from the point, I don't know what to say. You got to keep us in line.
Then what's your second point of why
All
you
right,
don't
we're
think this is
moving
a
on.
great movie?
We're moving on. I think my
Dave, you can't interrupt Chris anymore.
I am so fragile brain, Dave, and you know this. He's taking advantage of all of us. Okay, now this is something that I've thought about. Body dysmorphia versus just being a vain person. And, a lot of the comments that I read online initially were, oh, Demi Moore's like, she's got like especially the scene where she's like, gets finally frustrated and is like rubbing her makeup off because she can't go meet this guy does she really even want to meet him? I don't know. He's pretty below her stature, so it feels, I'm not there for it because I feel like she's just playing herself, and we're just whatever in the whole situation. We're just watching it, and it's just like her excuse to not go. Otherwise, whatever. But body dysmorphia, let me just clarify real quick because I didn't know. So body dysmorphia is more of a negative, like, look on oneself. However that may be, and then vanity is more of a positive look, like, oh, I'm so pretty, my perky boobies and buddies are so good. However, a lot of people are like, this is body dysmorphia at its finest in horror, and I'm like, I don't feel that way, and I think it's bullshit that people are putting this on this. I think it's vanity. But then I read this and I'm like, okay. This is like past vanity controlling the current thing, and it's just not like, I don't feel any kind of anything for Elizabeth Sparkle for this, because wow, I wish I could be young. M. Night Shyamalan, hold on, get a tide on me real quick. Getting old isn't a horror movie, M. Night. Old isn't scary, M. Night. Okay, people get old. That's that's just what happens, and you gotta come to you have to come to your own terms with that. Elizabeth Sparkle's already 94 years old, so wow, she's not got it yet. Oh no, she turned into a fucking society. What do they call that? The shunting? She's a shunting monster now? Oh my god, I'm not sorry for you. I'm sorry. You're a butt cheek now? I'm not sorry for you. It's not body dysmorphia. You were just vain your whole life, and now you gotta deal with some kind of consequence of that. That's not it. I'm not jumping on to that idea of this movie, and I don't feel any kind of remorse for her actions.
Real quick, I want to know, do we?
You can say, you can cuss on this show.
I'll watch this movie. Are we going off the precursor that they share memories?
That's another debate. That's another point.
I do not believe they share memories.
We got to decide. Can we? Okay, we got to do a quick aside because we got to address this first.
That's because that's going to like kind of make or break.
What is
who I vote
Sue
for on this?
Is she a clone?
I think there's a shared vibe, but I don't think they share memories. And if they do, they're getting pieces. It's almost coming to them like a dream, because every time Sue wakes up, and the apartment is trashed, she is surprised.
And a good movie wouldn't need to explain this to us.
Up and her body is corrupted.
It would have already been known.
She's surprised.
Right. So I would agree that it's a vibe. It's more of like a dream state where they're living out. I don't know that Sue gets anything from the Matrix. I think the Matrix gets something from. By the way, sorry, viewers, you should be watching this after you watch the movie. But the Matrix is the main character, and then there is the other. I can't remember what they call them. But I think the Matrix gets those vibes. It gets a sort of dream state for the sex and the fucking all the good shit, right?
Jeff, do you have any on this topic? Like, is it a clone? Is it like the cell dividing? What is this? Get in here. Get in here with us. Jump in the trenches. I'm dragging you by your shoes. Get in here.
I thought maybe it was a clone, but like, I mean, they really don't ever show you what she looks like, so no one's like, "Oh, you look like Elizabeth Sparkle when she was younger." So like, obviously she doesn't look the same because no one's making that comparison at all. And then at first, they say that they're one person, but obviously after they separate and they become two individual people, because they don't have that shared memory. They do have the vibes, both of them, because I feel like the scene where Sue's exercising and she goes down between her legs and they see the giant bump pop up.
Right.
That's never confirmed that anybody else saw that but her. And then she's pulling a leg.
I think my internet may be dying.
Belly button. And that's Elizabeth.
Let's take a moment. One moment, everybody. My internet is fucking up right now. Why? Why is the question? Or maybe it's Discord. Discord may be fucking up. I think we got a Discord problem.
Yeah, that
Nice.
was weird.
Yeah.
Jeff was talking so much that he crashed Discord.
Yeah, Discord's like, this is new bits.
Who's this guy? And why is he talking so much?
What are these Jeff bits?
I don't fucking shut down.
I don't get it.
So we're at Twitch, and all I see is Chris moving. Everybody else is frozen.
I thought my
There we
internet
go.
was dying. That was totally a Discord fucking fuck up.
Yeah, it was completely Discord. Yeah, like it didn't understand that Jeff's voice for
that
so
long?
many sentences that it just shut itself down.
I'm so proud, Jeff. None of us have ever broken a
too.
website like that.
Shut Discord down again, bro.
Do it. You did it. Continue. I go back a couple sentences.
The chicken bone coming out of the navel.
Yeah. Pick up from there.
Hey,
I think we're back.
In that. Okay.
Until
but yeah,
one of us.
it's that I feel like what you guys were saying. It's the shared kind of vibe, the dream. They both are having these things. The last probably memory thing that they have before they switch bodies.
It's almost it's almost like a shared like oxytocin sort of thing between each other.
I do think Sue gets some, because I think when she has the first hallucination where she's like on top of the motorcycle dude and her back unzips and all that shit comes out, I think that's what that is a little bit of a dream. So I don't think she gets as much as Elizabeth does. But I think there is that shared.
I think it's by design of the chemical too, right? Like,
I mean, if it's a Wi-Fi
fucking
chemical, then why do they got to swap spit from the syringe every time? Like, come on.
It's spinal fluid.
Okay. I know where spit comes from. I'm just saying, like,
well.
If they have some kind of a connection,
as a juror, I'm trying to be as bipartisan as possible.
My question is, like, if this is a cellular division, like we see the eyeball split, which is a cool scene, is a cool shot.
Yeah.
You know, and she comes out of there, like, I am hearing myself through somebody. Somebody turn caller.
It's through Jeff. I see his thing on.
Caller, turn your volume down, caller. Okay. What does Elizabeth gain from this thing? Like, very quickly
vibes.
What vibes?
That's what we're trying. That's what we were trying to fucking.
There's no
ascertain.
vibes.
We think that they share something between the two of them besides just their cellular.
When do you ever get something of Sue being like, "Oh, I'm an old bitch and I got a finger that's like wrong"?
She doesn't.
I think what she gets is,
there you go. She
is living vicariously through Sue at that point. Mm-hmm. She gets to kind of relive her golden days. It's the drug of youth. Chris,
of watching
Chris, you are under oath. You are under oath, Chris. Why have I long said is the strongest drug? It's a blank. It's a hell of a drug.
Hashish.
Nostalgia.
Oh shit.
Nostalgia. Hell of a drug.
You said that
and
once.
That's what she gets. She remembers her golden age, and she gets to kind of live those vibes vicariously. So I think that's what she gets.
Why do you need a clone to do
alone.
that?
She feels alive.
That it doesn't.
Okay, so you mentioned previously that like you thought that like the dude she was going to go out on a date with, Demi Moore's character, the Matrix, was going to date with was beneath her, right? But he was very sweet to her. Beneath her, Chris, you're part of the problem. You're looking at the physical appearance.
No, I'm looking at the stature. Connection. I'm looking at the stature. This has nothing to do with physicality. It's the stature.
But when I saw that, I literally paused the movie and said to myself, that is so fucking sweet. When she called him and was like, I want to go on a date, because she was like, I'm worth it. I thought it was so sweet. I literally teared up a little bit. I was like, dude, she's finding herself. She's gonna like start her own life again. It's like she's gonna be in the world. And
wow, lady has a demon finger now, and all of a sudden she has emotions. That's what it took.
Yeah,
Wow.
Well, here's what it took. So my point two.
She was a cunt the whole time, and she just don't want to admit to it.
Fred is
Demi
the
Moore was
perfect
the
example.
sweetest character ever.
Fred is the perfect example of my point two. One of the themes, because there are multiple themes in this movie, and one of the themes is the commodification of the female body. She put her personal life on hold for her career, and Fred represents a chance in her in a more advanced age to finally get that human connection she has lacked. Fred is sincere and genuine, and
what does that got to do with anything?
Can I get a one shot? Can I get a one shot for the young men in the audience?
Chris, you're not selling your point at all right now.
You can't.
It's boggling my mind.
Give me a one shot for the young men in the audience.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I want to talk to them.
Okay,
I want to educate them. That's a one shot of you. I want a one shot of me.
Get in the future, Dave. Jesus fucking Christ.
Young men, find something you're passionate about. Be sincere and be sincerely passionate. That's why modern educated women love nerds, because nerds are passionate, and they know we're passionate and loyal, and they know we'll do that for them. Be that. I am super passionate about my wonderful wife. I'm super passionate about the things in my life. I'm super passionate about getting to know people and the people around me being loved and valued and supported.
All right.
And don't be afraid to be sincere.
Counterpoint.
And
here I am, one of his oldest friends now, at this point in our lives. Our old-ass fucking old man lives, and he's throwing me under the bus to get his point across, rather than save me from persecution from the internet. He's like, I'm just going to help pile on, and now you're dead. Now you're dead forever.
Whose pick was this? Who decided to throw this down?
I did, for you. For you.
I want to finish
this is for you.
I just want to finish this point. Fred is genuine and sincere and enthusiastic and passionate. Fred is our Jeff.
You gonna let him talk to you that way, Jeff? You gonna let him talk to you that way? Throw him under the bus with you. Grab his leg and bring him with you.
Fred was great. Can't believe you don't like Fred.
I think Fred represents normalcy. So I do have a question though.
Sure.
So the timeline of this movie is very ambiguous, because you see the like iPhones and you see like the modern phones, but there's classic cars every fucking place.
Oh, is there? I didn't even notice.
All the time. Yeah, no, dude, I'm not
a car guy. I pay no attention to cars.
Were part of the story, 100%. Every time she was walking down the street, there was like a fucking Lamborghini Murcielago or whatever sitting there, and then there was a 1972 like Chevy Chevelle next to it. Like every single time she walked down the street, there was like the new and the old, which is very cool cinematography. As Dave didn't mention this.
Oh, cool! They just did it in cars.
Because I'm kind of big brain here, guys. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm really big brain here. So, but no, I'm just kidding. But I'll
delete this entire episode. If nobody gets on my side, I'm gonna delete the show. Jeff,
No, I'm not on your side.
Yeah, I see that.
You're just making bad points.
What have I said that's bad? What have I said that's bad? Give me some kind of feedback. I'm shouting into the void.
I thought it was tragic.
I'm shouting into the void, and then the voice shouting back, Dave's right. Dave's right. And I'm like, what the? Shut the fuck up, void.
I'll be on your side for this.
Check your text.
You brought up
my text.
Body dysmorphia. And I think body dysmorphia is that's not even opinion, that's fact. And it's tragic that this with Fred.
Unfreeze yourself, Dave. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Okay.
It's tragic that Elizabeth allowed her body dysmorphia to ruin her chance of happiness with Fred. I think if she had gone out with Fred,
wow, if she hadn't been so vain, it's not body dysmorphia. She's just vain. It's not body dysmorphia. No, it's not.
She's not vain. She is
she
is completely insecure. Someone who's vain is not that insecure.
Yeah, it's previous vanity that now you got to deal with. You were vain for your whole life, and now you have to deal with the repercussions. I'm not sorry for that.
She's felt these feelings her whole life.
Wow, really? Because everybody's like, "Oh, you're in your fucking teeny tiny bikini," as we do our Dennis Quaid like sucking on your butt cheeks, and it's great. It's so great.
I don't want Dennis Quaid sucking on my butt cheeks.
You don't, but she did, because why would she have been there until she was 60 years fucking old? And then now
she's trained by society to seek male approval.
Oh, is that it? Or is it just because she was making money, she was feeling hot, and then for 40 years? 40 years she did this.
Trained by society to seek male approval. She was 100% trained by society to seek male approval.
No, I don't agree. She lived this way for so long and was so happy with it. And then,
look at the first,
because
Demi Moore's first.
We did not see. No. We didn't see Sue.
Yes,
no, you shut the fuck up. We did not see Sue get attacked by Dennis Quaid ever. I mean, he was a piece of shit.
She's young and hot.
Yeah, why would he not be doing that? So that already disproves.
They had lived in harmony. Sue and Elizabeth, and this had gone on for 20 years.
No, this is Elizabeth.
He'd be ditching Sue too to find something younger.
Sue is the new one, Dave.
First nude scene, first Demi Moore nude scene.
Dave doesn't even know who's the new one.
She looks amazing. The actress 58 years old, the character 50 years old. She looks amazing. She has still got a great body. When I look at Stella, she still has got a great body. I don't look at 50-year-old Stella.
How uncomfortable are you right now?
In my mind, she is timeless. But I'm sure because women suffer from body dysmorphia and insecureness, and we all do, but women at a higher rate than men do. I'm sure she does not
when we hit about 60, when they
of her
you get about 60 years old, you've made your entire career off of your physique, and then all of a sudden
she feels secure about it. She puts that aside. She's constantly seeking that male approval. There are lots of studies that show that
no, it doesn't.
The women who
she is seeking her own approval
feel more insecure about their bodies than women who are not in those positions. It doesn't matter that they flaunt it. They flaunt it because they need that attention psychologically.
Quick interlude here. We're bringing in real life statistics into a horror movie that doesn't really exist. We can't do that too much. Chris, you're bringing in a real life actress when you need to be thinking about the character. So you both are kind of fucking up here right now.
We can look at real life statistics to inform our opinion on these movies. That doesn't mean that the statistics that hold. We have to look at context clues. Like I said, when we look at that first nude scene with Demi Moore, she's not in the mirror going, "Oh, I look great at 50." She's like looking at her body and she's disgusted by it, which is crazy because it's amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like she, for a nearly 60-year-old woman, she looks great. She obviously works out, keeps herself in shape, all that good stuff. So I agree that that is the first telltale sign of body dysmorphia, is like she's feeling her body and it's not sexual in any way. It's very clinical. It's very looking at Chris. I feel like we didn't watch the same movie. What do you say, Jeff?
Baby boy.
Only after Dennis Quaid puts her down, saying that he needs someone younger, that she looks in the mirror and goes, You don't see her look in the mirror before that and going, "Oh, I look good for my age."
Right.
It's after she hears him like put her down and she's losing her job that she's like, "Oh, I don't have that young body anymore. I'm not
Right.
that attractive." I mean, because she doesn't know the statistics. They didn't talk about how good her show's doing. There's
Right.
nothing about how good she looks other than the beginning with Star, how it's all cracked and beaten up, that no one really cares for her anymore.
The star was super telling. Jeff brings that up. We didn't talk about that. Like at the beginning, they're showing that people like stepping over the star, making sure to hop over it as like in reverence to her.
Yeah.
They didn't want to step on it, right? Because it's like that's Elizabeth Sparkle's star. We're gonna jump over it. We're not gonna step on it. And then the final scene is like someone spills their fucking ketchup hamburger all over it. Which, why do you need that much fucking ketchup on your hamburger? That's what this movie's about.
Which I have a problem with that scene too. I don't feel like a lot of people are going to clean up their mess after they dumped it on the ground. They're like, "Oh,"
Jeff,
and walk away.
That took me completely out of the fucking movie. The dude's like mopping up his ketchup and his burger. I would have just fucking left it there and kept walking. I would have picked up the styrofoam and put it in the trash. But the fucking biodegradables? Who's gonna fucking mop that up with their fucking grease napkin and pick it up like that? That was so not natural. 100% agree with Jeff there. As I thought I would. But that fucking scene was so. I know they were trying to like kind of encapsulate the mess and the cracks and all that, but like, yeah, who the fuck is gonna pick up their ketchup? Who the fuck is gonna pick up their ketchup when they spill it? No one. Okay. Oh my god. This is turning into an episode where Jeff and I just agree on everything. All right.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, okay, so Chris, I have a question for you as a juror. Because I do want to. You're muted. You're muted for days. You are. You are muted.
Still muted.
Holding.
Is this your point?
No. There is
go.
something wrong with my. I may have to get a new cable.
Oh.
It is not a. It is. I swear to God. I swear to God, I'm not drunk like last weekend. I am drunk, but I am not like last week. Let's make any final points real quick, and then let's have some questions directed at us, and then we'll finish the shit off. This is not going to be a 3-hour show.
It can be.
It can't. It could be. It still could be.
Could be.
Any final points, Dave, that you want to bring up?
Got so many more points.
Oh, you're just gonna disagree with me, and so are the rest of you too. So, like, I'm like Donald Trump in this shit, and I want to die.
All right, let's talk about something that I think we can talk about. Just the quality of the body horror. And scene 1, the birth of Sue, is so good body horror. Even when she's laying the ground and her back is just fucking vibrating before shit splits and Sue starts to be born. But the eyeball shit, man, that is so fucking cool. The birth is cool. The goo, like when Sue first wakes up and she looks at her own hand and she's covered with fucking newborn baby goo. Oh, it's so fucking good. It's such good body horror.
Quick prelude there. So I was watching it. Before I watched it, I was getting it ready to watch, and I was looking at the movie posters for it. The eyeballs being like separated or whatever, the irises, the blue and the green. I showed Jen. I was like, dude, this is fucking freaky. I had never seen something like that before. That creeped me out. The irises like being like separated, that creeped me out. I was like, this is gonna be interesting.
So,
another funny side note, the very first time that Sue is like, oh, I have to switch, and like she switches and she like just collapses on top of the Demi Moore's character
And
Elizabeth
headbutts her.
Sparkle. Yeah, like just headbutts her.
That's
I was like,
illegal
oh,
in
fuck,
wrestling because that will fuck your shit up. That is illegal. You can't
But the
headbutt
s-
like that.
the slap,
Diving headbutt
the
like
slap made me-
you can't do
the
that.
slap made me super uncomfortable, so I paused it and I kind of cringed. And my wife looked over at me. I was like, "This is super fucking cringe." And she looks over. She's like, "They're just having sex." And I was like, "No, that is not what's happening here. This is not lesbian sex. This is super
Despite what your
uncomfortable."
fucking visuals may represent,
Yeah,
this is not sexual.
right. It's not sexual at all.
almost
This is
at
very
all.
Not a true
clinical.
horror fan. You're not a true horror fan
Unless you're
until
trying to
watching something,
No,
and
please.
that's when your wife walks in and you have to explain it.
I'm
I
watching a
paused- 'cause I
porcupine
was
documentary.
talking to her
Leave
about
me
it the
alone.
entire movie. But I was like, no, this is not sex. This is very clinical. It is very not sexy at all. Like, this is very fucking creepy and weird and like uncomfortable. So, yeah, no, I did enjoy the body horror of this movie,
All right.
the escaping from the spine. But that's the reason that I wanted to know if like they share memories. Because Sue comes out.
They
and
have 2.5
instantly has
hours to tell
autonomy.
us. You think they could, with a decent story, but I guess not.
They have autonomy.
I guess
She
not.
knows how to sew. Like it's a little. That's,
I mean,
that's a point I want to bring up. So yeah, no, go ahead, Dave. Your final thoughts.
That absolutely does require a little bit of a suspension of disbelief and a leap of faith.
Right.
The whole thing does. I mean, you take a shot and you burr the whole human out of your back, and you haven't lost any mass. I mean,
Right.
that requires a leap of faith.
Did
to
you
get,
see how fat Demi Moore was before she gave birth? I said that just
You
to see
are trying to sell it. No.
it was a
I
joke.
hate that
It was
so much.
It was funny if you were on the
It
joke.
was fucking funny.
I saw how fat them nipples were. So
Oh,
There's
you're
that.
you're the reason we had to live
Yeah.
through this uncomfortableness, Dave. You're the reason.
you're welcome.
You
you're
are
welcome.
Hoobastank in this situation.
All right.
The
Here's
reason
another
is
point.
you.
Here's another point. Is this a good movie? As of currently, budget 17.5 million, gross $77 million. Is this a good movie? I think the horror community at large says it is.
But
Another point.
box office does not represent goodness. If that was the case, are you saying Britney Spears is one of the best artists of all time? You're saying
For the
over
general masses, sure.
over Black Sabbath? You're going to pick Britney Spears over Black Sabbath for
She's a generational artist, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Britney Spears
there you go.
absolutely
Jeff,
did
no.
something unique to the game.
Yeah, she showed a teenager in skimpy clothes in the late 90s. And I was
It's sold.
Okay.
It's sold. And that's
meanwhile, Black
you're
Sabbath was talking.
comparing generational changes. Generational.
That was only 20 years. That was only 20 years.
Hold on. But real quick, Chris did have a question for Jeff. And I want Jeff to crash Discord again. So Chris, what was your question for Jeff?
What do you think of any of this? Just jump in. No. Because musically, me and Jeff are into the kind of stoner rock kind of genre.
Sure.
In a way. Jeff's not going to stand idly by and be like, Britney Spears is better than Black Sabbath.
No.
Britney Spears is better than Mastodon. No.
Okay,
yeah.
but that is a
No,
subjective
no.
point of view.
Yes, but Dave is putting a monetary value on that, which doesn't work. He's saying because this made a bunch of money, that certifies it as yes being good, when no, it doesn't.
So the fact that it made such a profit says yes, the commercial masses says it is good. But comparing what a movie made in 2024 versus the profit margin in 1980, that's not going to be something you can compare because of inflation. You'd have to adjust for inflation. You'd have to look at what other movies were coming out at the same time. Like,
also,
that's not
streaming
apples to
wasn't a
oranges.
thing in the 80s, so if you want to see a movie,
I'm just saying this movie has grossed $60 million. Apparently, I'm not the only one who thinks this is a good movie. That is not a 100% of a value statement. I understand there are shortcomings there. That is not the only if that was my only argument, yeah, tear that down. Tear that paper tiger down. It's trash. Let's look at another argument. The Easter eggs. It is written in the language of horror movies. The hallway is The Shining. The bathroom is
so no original ideas.
Cool. The same as the bathroom in the Overlook Hotel in The Shining. When she pulls that chicken leg out of her belly button after it pops out of her ass, you're telling me you didn't get Cronenberg vibes out of that? That is totally Videodrome.
Fuck no.
That is video fucking drone.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
there
not.
is so much here. There is so much here.
There's no way.
And let's go. I love me a movie. I love mindless violent movies. I'll admit it. I love mindless violent movies. I think Jeff did, super enjoyed Terrifier 3. There's no message to Terrifier 3. It's just mindless violence. I love it.
However,
but you know what I like? But you know what I like better than mindless violence movies? I like good horror movies that make me think. And I've thought about this movie for a while now. I've watched it, I think 3, maybe 4 complete watch throughs now.
Complete, or like just to like a certain scene, and then you're done and you pause it and you go to bed.
Oh no! I'm long and I'm strong and I'm down to get the friction on. There are multiple messages here. There is the man versus woman. There is the feminist message here. The men have the power, and they're disgusting, and the women who are the talent, the women are the talent, and they are fighting for scraps, fighting for approval, male approval. So there's that. There is the message of youth versus age. Sue, with her youthful exuberance and her tight body, versus Elizabeth and her experience, and where is her value in all the dedication to her career that she's put in. And I'm going to tell you, there's an ultra secret message, Chris, that I really thought would resonate with you, because this is a theme that Chris and I have come up with together as brothers.
With the camera open.
And so I really think the message of be good to your future self would resonate with the fans of the Horror House.
But it's not your future self. It's just another person. It's just another person.
No, the theme is that's her future self.
Everything she's not gonna. No, because she's not gonna grow up to be Elizabeth Sparkles. She's Sue.
You have to look past the physicality of the movie and look at the theme of the movie. She uses up her juju, and there's less juju for old Elizabeth because she's using it up at an old age. And what's she using it up to? Party and fuck pretty boys on motorcycles. So
that can't drive drunk, clearly. Wow, he's kind of responsible. Kind of a hot guy. Wow.
Okay. So, Chris, what are your...
The only good person in the movie, if you think about it.
We talked boobs and we talked butts. There's a butt for the ladies. There you go.
Chris, why is this not a great movie?
Everything that we've said, I've just been completely against. I don't think the effects are good, which is a big point in horror for me. If you don't have good effects, that takes my immersion way down. So like if the story's great, if the story was great, which I don't think the story's great, if the effects were better, I would have gave the story more of a pass, because visually, I'm a visual learner. I'm a verbal processor. a finger you put on Demi Moore does not thrill me. A fucking prosthetic leg you put on Demi Moore does not thrill me. It's not greasy. It doesn't scare me. Oh, you put a fucking witch costume on fucking naked ass Demi Moore and now she's a bald witch? It's the worst effect I've ever seen. And then
I thought it was like, when she's running,
it's so bad. It's so bad. It is so bad.
Okay, hold on. Is this a bit, or do you really think the effects were bad?
They were bad. No, the first initial cellular division is fine. Everything after that is butt cheeks. Everything is butt cheeks. And we get to one of my biggest complaints. And then, okay, after this, then we can figure out how we're going to finish this episode because it's getting time. It's getting time. One of my biggest complaints is we get to the end of this fucking shit and it is the worst, I don't know if I would say shot or if I would say edited ending in a horror movie I've maybe ever seen. Because you can't see shit. I love The Evil Dead. I love The Evil Dead 2. I love Blood Flying. I love Brain Dead. I love Dead Alive. I love the Peter Jackson. You know, there's so much that we have watched that is just massive gore on top of gore inside of gore. And this is just like somebody that saw that once and was like, I can maybe like, I'll cop that. And then they do it the worst I've ever seen it. It is unwatchable. It is unwatchable because it's just flashing. It's just flashing. And I think it is the worst ending in a horror movie that I've seen maybe ever. Not the, like, we get back to the star. That is a cop out. That takes that entire sequence before and is like, oh, the whole bad thing that you just saw, now we've got some symbolism and no, it's everything before that is the worst shot, worst edited horror shit I've ever seen.
The first time I watched this, the tone shift at the end when the monster
a tone you call that a tone shift? I call that don't know how to shoot a movie shift.
I call it a tone shift, and I thought, this is terrible. This tone shift is terrible. And then I watched it a second time, and then I watched it a third time, and the absurdism is the point here.
Yeah. What does that
when
have?
You first, or with the Demi Moore mask on that she cuts out of the poster, and people kind of act like they don't see the monster underneath. It's a comment on the shallowness of the people.
Yeah,
they're not looking at the true beauty. They're looking at the veneer. And so that's the message. Yes, we have to take a leap. We have to use our thinking brains to get there, but I think it's a comment on people viewing only the veneer and not looking inside of somebody. And then when the gore, she burns a fucking tit that falls onto the ground, and she starts spraying blood all over the crowd, and she's breaking apart, and she goes out and runs down the sidewalk.
Yeah, I love pointless gore as much as the next guy, but like, what's the?
Is it pointless?
Yeah,
or are we saying
it is? It's pointless and it's pointlessly shot.
I don't think it's pointless. I think it is a statement.
It is the worst ending I've ever seen.
We engage in this when we engage in.
You're making me rate this lower than I want to, Dave, right now.
When we engage in the worship of surface level beauty with disregard for the internal beauty, it looks bad
this
on
doesn't
all
make
of us.
any
It reflects
sense.
on society as a whole.
No. If this was Day of the Dead, 1980s Day of the Dead, and it's like, these are the greatest effects I've ever seen, and then now 40 years later, we're like, oh, it's wrinkly fucking vagina is the worst. Bring in Sue. No, those effects are still great. This is just a stupid.
You're going back to the beginning. I think the ending scene.
Everything is still. It still leads up to this stupid ending that has no. It's just.
I think the absurdism is the point.
I think it is too. So, like, speaking on the ending.
Okay,
like,
I'm dropping my score more.
What?
I'm dropping my score more.
Okay.
The more you guys talk, the more I drop it. Jeff,
What?
We're gonna talk about this.
I'm just saying.
So
mind your P's and Q's, Jeff. Be on my side. I need help.
The ending, I think, Dave
Jeff.
encapsulated the whole looking at the veneer, right? This is when you figure out that, like,
I've got to pee so bad, so I'm going to do that. I hear you, but continue.
Okay. Elizabeth Sparkle, like, surrounded herself by hype men, right? Like, and so Sue did as well. She goes down this hallway as her grotesque self after she reactivates. After pulling out her teeth, and like that body horror of her pulling out her teeth, oh my god, the amount of times I shuddered was insurmountable. But she goes down that hallway as her grotesque self with Sue on her back and Elizabeth in the front, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're so beautiful." It's like you see that, like, her whole existence was a facade. If she just would have fucking gone out with fucking Frank or whatever his name was.
Fred. Don't disrespect Fred.
Sorry. I love Fred.
Thank you.
This would have been different. When Fred came out and she called him and she was like, "I really want to go out with you." He's like, I never expected this. I'm speechless. Like, I was like, that is so fucking sweet. That's so fucking kind.
It hurt me when she stood him up, because I think she was also hurting herself. Like she
absolutely
was. Him up flippantly, like that would hurt her to stand him up. But in that moment, she didn't think she was good enough for Fred. It's not that Fred was below her. In her mind, Fred is so much better than she deserved.
Right, because she kept looking at her at Sue and being like, "I'm not as good looking as that," and like, okay, I can make myself more modest. I'm still not good looking enough. I'll make myself more appealing. Okay, young men, women out there, appealing is in the eye of the beholder. Just be yourself.
Stop. I got a point to make.
Go ahead.
Why did she never ever talk to Fred or Ted or Roger ever again?
She was embarrassed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Because she was embarrassed to be old, and then the only reason she went to Ted, what was his name? John?
Fred?
Roger. So it's the only reason she even messaged him is because that's all she could get. She wanted some reciprocation.
She didn't want sex. She wanted genuine human connection.
So he could be like, "Oh, you're still so pretty. You're still so pretty." And then,
may I ask you a question?
No,
go ahead,
because she becomes more Witches of Eastwick or whatever that movie was, minus the horror because it was so terrible. Like she never calls him. Like if she would have called him ever after this and been like, "Help me," like if he had come in here,
if you remember the movie correctly, after this. She was put into a coma for like 3 months and came out a fucking hunchback. Yep. She was concerned about self-survival.
She had moments before that. This wasn't the. She had a goblin finger, and she's like, I can't meet Roger.
No.
The emotion.
And believe me, a goblin finger is pretty fucked up.
You did not pick up on
You're bypassing so much.
You guys are putting too much nuance on garbage.
No, we're not. This movie is shot so beautifully.
It's not. It's not.
Let me ask you a question. So,
what?
Chris, Jeff, and Tim, just respond with a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
I'm already thumbs down.
Are these
Fuck
good
you.
horror movies? Is The Exorcist a good horror movie?
No. No more.
The Exorcist. Jeff?
I'm opposition forces now.
Is Jaws a good horror movie?
Fuck no. I'm opposition.
Is Silence of the Lambs a good horror movie?
I don't know that I'd ever actually give that a thumbs up. That's not for me.
Is The Sixth Sense a good horror movie? This is the kind of mediocre one for me as well. Was Black Swan a good horror movie?
Yes. I fucking love Black Swan.
It's great. Was Get Out a good horror movie?
Yes.
Wow. Those are all the horror movies that have been nominated for Best Picture, alongside The Substance. So I guess they're all good movies.
Okay, I do have problems with this movie, but I will get along to my. So, Chris, I love you. You're my brother. I've loved you forever.
Fuck off! Don't say it like that. Don't say that so you can front. Don't front load your fucking bullshit. Just say your bullshit.
I'm gonna hurt you right now. You made like 0 points in this entire debate.
Yeah, because you guys love old fucking haggard fucking garbage effects.
All I'm saying is you said it's bad. You didn't give any reason why it's bad.
Are you serious? They're two different people. Why does one she can't kill the other one, and then suddenly Sue has superpowers, and then at one point, I mean, you may not like effects, but I like effects. They're the worst effects I've ever seen. I could put.
I liked the Hunchback. I thought it was.
You like that is the most.
I don't think you can genuinely say they're the worst effects you've ever seen.
They're about. I
did make you watch Doom Asylum.
Doom Asylum had better effects than this.
Oh, what the?
Doom Asylum is a better movie than this. Get the fuck out of here.
Days Gone Forever.
The more you guys fucking shit on me, the lower this score gets. And this is on you. You're lowering your own average at this point.
It's like -7 at this point.
This is going to be rough. One other point. I have one other point.
Okay.
I gotta... Fuck. We keep glossing past it. And I'm too drunk to fucking like catch on in the moment. And then you motherfuckers keep piling on. You're like, it's so real. It's real to me, damn it.
Pile on.
And then you yell at Chris and you're like,
I do think the pacing was terrible in this movie. I felt the pacing was not great.
It's a common complaint I heard from people, but I didn't feel that way. I felt tension. Even when she's cooking and she's watching Sue on TV and she's cooking, she's so hateful. Yeah. And she's cooking all that disgusting fucking food.
Yeah.
I felt tension through all of it. I thought it was
I felt tension, but like the pacing was so... It was so abrupt after the initial Dennis Quaid scene. It was just...
Yes. Yes. That's exactly...
It was super abrupt. And then it kept becoming abrupt.
Yes.
During the Elizabeth Sparkle scenes. It was so abrupt. And I get it. They're trying to show the fucking young actress and show her ass and like, hey, here's my vagina, like inside my unitard. Like, look at it. It's like, okay, I'm good, dude. Like
everybody that's under the age of 90, a unitard is a tard that's uni.
But like,
it's not a unicorn.
When we get, we're gonna give
okay. Stop. That's the point that I wanted to make. That's the point that I wanted to make.
Yes, I want to hear it. Chris. So make it. Make your point.
It is the pacing. It is the entire length of the movie. Is another problem with this movie is that it is 2.5 hours long or 2:20, something like that. Meanwhile, like it has shots that linger on shit when you're just like, yes, I agree with you. I agree with the fucking three of you on it's making shit uncomfortable to look at a butt or a tit that long. I'm right there with you. I think shots like that matter, but there's other shots that don't. And the editing, the pacing of this movie ain't it, because a movie that is 2 hours and 30 minutes long, whatever this is, a better movie that already told a similar but better story in an hour less, and you got more character development, is The Fly. It's a better body horror movie than this.
So
did you mean Jack Frost?
Okay, hold on. You're telling me that this is not good because it's not as good as one of the best of all time? I mean, I agree.
I mean, it's supposed to be getting an Oscar, right? So it should be up there. It takes an hour longer to tell less. It takes an hour longer to tell less.
I don't think to tell less. And let me defend the pacing for just a minute. someone who liked this movie, because if you don't like this movie, you're going to feel every minute of that 2.5 minutes.
Oh.
I do not. I feel like it goes well, and I don't have the same problem as pacing. It's a something I commonly saw researching this week, that people complained about the pacing, but that the pacing feels disjointed, because you go from high octane perky to slowed down and serious, and I think that's part of it. Sue's life
Christ.
is
Jesus
boom, bam,
fucking
bam,
Christ.
bam. I'm dancing, man. I'm happy. I'm dancing around. I'm walking around my apartment doing yoga in skimpy fucking underwear. And Elizabeth's life is not that. It used to be. Maybe it used to be, but it's not anymore. And I think that's part of it. I love this movie. The pacing does not bother me, because the tone shift from back and forth, I think that's part of the dichotomy. And both of these things, a young heart lives inside of me, but I got an old ass body, so maybe I feel connected to both sides of this a lot.
I'm old as shit. My back is broke as shit. If I could like live vicariously through another person, that's not good enough. That doesn't fix my broken back. Fuck off, slut.
That's so you're just projecting at this point, Chris.
It's what it is. It's what it is.
It is what it is. It's subjective. It's 100% subjective. I would say that with Dave's opinions in mind, the pacing is still
Garbage.
overly hyper, because
Trash bag.
I would have liked to see like more of Elizabeth Sparkles, like before she decided to do the change. Like, what was her life like?
Like when she was hot and worth it. I get it.
No, that sounds
So you're part of the
I'm
problem.
gonna cancel
That was a
you on this
joke.
episode,
That was a
Chris.
joke.
Jesus
Shut up,
Christ.
Beardy. That was a joke. Everybody should know that. I'm getting a drink.
Okay. The one piece of research I did not get a chance to do this week that I really wanted to do is I wanted to look at the Elizabeth Sparkle posters as she went down the hall, because I'm pretty sure some of those images are callbacks to actual Demi Moore roles in the past. There's the one where she's got the short bob, and she did what was the one romance movie she did with Bruce, Now and Later or some shit like that. But I think each of those posters was a callback. There's not a G.I. Jane. I would have liked to seen a G.I. Jane callback, but
Have you seen the callback where she goes and she hits on Timothy Chalamet in front of Kylie Jenner because she's a groomer?
you call it a groomer? I mean, come on. Ashton Kutcher was dying to bark up that tree.
I mean, fair. But yeah, no, it's
Technically she is 18 years older than me. If she wants to groom me, I will be happy to oblige.
I was
As
one when
long
you
as
were
she-
18. What's up,
as long as She
baby?
gets Stella's permission first.
Right. Okay. Chris, you're muted.
Dave, I'm so sorry. Dave, did you say Demi Moore is 18 years older than you?
You know what? I take that back. I've had a few drinks. 11 years? 12 years?
Hold on.
I think currently
You
she is
you
11.
freaked my brain out so bad. We got to
Chris's perception of this movie is going to change entirely
She
based
is-
on this fact.
Demi Moore is 62 years old. I can't math, so you're gonna
She is 12 years older than I am.
12 years old. Demi
And
Moore is
I'm
12
old
years
and
old.
crusty.
I think children are the future, is what I would say, but like not this one, not this specific one.
He's simultaneously shitting on Demi Moore and you right now.
Look, I was prepared when you inevitably lose to offer a consolation prize.
I don't want your bullshit.
If we ever revisit Bly Manor, I'll throw you a mercy point.
I ain't gonna ever recommend it, Beard.
I
won't.
I got lots of points. I got
Yeah.
lots of points. I'll throw
I
you
think
some.
women can love each other. Wow, that's a real wow, that's a real American
I don't have
problem.
a problem with lesbians.
You sound like
I
you
happen
do.
to be one myself.
Lord help me.
Okay.
Lord help me. Tim Rainison. Jeff Rainison.
Okay, we're gonna rein you in. So Jeff,
All right, let's.
gotta
who
hang
do you
them.
felt like made the best points? And keep in mind,
Jeff.
Chris is as drunk as he is when he games with me and Jen.
No, but I'm not.
So his point.
I'm not. Just because I left my mic muted means nothing.
Okay, twice. So there's
Has this not been 2 weeks in the making?
Did it twice
No.
tonight.
yeah.
What does tonight even mean, dude?
I know, Chris. I know, Bubby. I love you, and you're amazing. You've never done anything wrong in your life.
Sweet
But
summer
Jeff,
child.
You are.
You're the
Dude,
only one
I
that
love
gets me.
Chris implicitly,
You're the only one that gets
without
me, Tim.
remorse. Okay, before I get to Jeff's thing,
Rest
here,
your head on me.
we've talked
Rest
about
your head on
the
me.
zombie apocalypse, and my wife, the beautiful Jen,
He won't do it.
and Chris are like, we're just gonna off ourselves. I'm like, no, you will not.
Still will.
I've bought guns and ammo for everyone. We have shit to do. I'm like, nope. I'm like, Chris, you have to babysit your namesake, which is my son, which we named after Chris, because he's so beautiful. And also my wife has to take care of me because I'm hopeless without her. So we have that going for us. We've planned that all out.
And you're
So with that in
you're gonna make me get out of here prematurely because nobody agrees with me on the substance. I'm not even gonna make it to the apocalypse because I'm gonna get out here fast. If one person doesn't agree with me, I'm out. Jeff knows. Jeff sees me.
It's called tough love.
You'll
Bullshit.
stay.
Me and Jeff had a moment last week. You guys left, and me and Jeff bonded like we've never bonded. I mean,
We got that going for us.
it may have been
All right.
just Chris talking for 7 hours, and Jeff
let's
is
get
like,
those-
whatever
let's
you
get those
say,
opinions.
alcoholic.
Let's get those ratings.
I think that this is a good movie. I think that the pacing aside, which I thought was a little too brutal, a little too much.
Wow.
Which is a long movie, so I think they could have paced it better. In my opinion.
2 hours is pretty standard. It's 20 minutes longer than that. It's not
Yeah, but
1984.
it's a horror movie, so it's usually shorter.
I mean,
Not these days.
Not
the-
these days,
the
but
Fly
I
did it in
I
that-
did feel it was too long.
Fly did an hour 20. It's pretty hot. It's pretty hot. It's pretty efficient.
But especially when I have to watch these movies on a weeknight when I have to work the next day after my son goes to bed, it's a little long. All right, so personal vendetta aside, I felt like it was very good. I thought that the body dysmorphia was very well represented. I felt like the living vicariously was well represented, especially when it came to like zooming into like the
Pussy.
note cards and shit,
I
like
mean,
being
yeah.
like, we love you, we love you, we love you, like just a constant reminder of like, we love you. It's like she's reaching out to get that affirmation again. I thought it was really well shot. And I felt like the sexual scenes were overtly shot for a reason, right? Like it's making it super sexualized to make you feel uncomfortable. And I did feel uncomfortable. I'm sitting next to my wife watching this movie. I'm not getting turned on by it. I can say that with 100% confidence. I wasn't hot for any of it.
You
It
tried
was-
Blue Chew.
I have not.
Hold on. Dave, do the promo.
Really-
Do the promo.
Yeah, I get hot for my wife, and like, no,
He didn't
it
do
was
He didn't do it.
it was really
I
uncomfortable.
get hot for my wife and Ryan Reynolds, and that's it.
I was trying to get you
No.
to say Horror House 4 promo code of Blue Chew, and you. Get in there. In the
Again,
arms of
it was
an
really
angel.
Four
uncomfortable.
hard-ons at the same time.
It was really uncomfortable for me. I don't know if I'm a special man, but like, it was really uncomfortable. I did not feel. I didn't feel sexual. I didn't feel turned on. I just felt like really, really fucking uncomfortable. And like during the clinical scenes, were like feeling and like touching and like all that shit and showering. I'm just like, okay, this is just a lady showering. There's nothing sexy about this. Like, it's just a lady showering. I didn't feel any sort of way about those. So like, but the overtly sexual scenes just made me uncomfortable. They didn't. It just didn't. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a weird dude and I just like. You need to come on to me to make me feel sexy. That's how I feel when it comes to a lady.
I think that's the point. That's the point of those shots, is to desensitize you and get you out of being like, here's a butt, here's a boobie, so you can get into the idea of it. And I think they did a good job with that. I'll give you that. I'll give you guys that one, because they do that.
Right. And
That's how I feel. But Jeff,
what's your
Yeah. What's your rating?
though?
my rating?
Yeah, out of 10.
As far as horror goes, the last 15 minutes are the real horror of the movie, right? Like, uncomfortableness aside, I would say the first 2 hours is like a thriller. The last half hour, the real horror of it.
You're the master of your score.
Yeah,
What it means
I'd
to
give
you?
it a 7. I give it a 7.
All right.
I really like the ending scene. I know Chris hates it, but like the spraying them with blood, I felt like it kind of spoke to like the whole going to like a sports event where like they like zoom in on fucking like celebrities that are like attending the Lakers game or whatever. They were like zooming in on like the most affected and kind of giving them their own spotlight. When it came to the whole thing, and the ending was really telling to me, because it was like this whole thing happened, right? She sprayed blood over this entire crowd of like 300 people. Blah blah. She runs out. She dies on the fucking star. The star gets wiped away. It's like no one's ever gonna fucking talk about this again. Doesn't matter. It's all superfluous. So I felt that was very telling of the message. It was very much like women in Hollywood can be swept under the rug and we don't give a fuck about them. Like,
Jeff.
that's what it came down to. So
All right.
I
Jeff,
liked
yes,
the ending a lot.
Okay.
But Jeff,
talk to us.
his notes.
Yep. All right. So since we're just talking about the ending at the moment, like you guys were saying, it is absurd, and I just don't understand why they start screaming, "Oh look, monster!" It's like, really? We went through this entire thing. We get to the end, and the end's absurd. It doesn't fit with the rest of the movie.
Oh shit!
There we go.
Jeff's being attacked.
Oh fuck! Oh shit! Coconut milk! Oh god damn it!
All right.
You're drinking the fruit of the coconut.
And they're
Jeff is evil.
they're all on TV. You know, this is being filmed on TV. Like, why wouldn't they assume that it was a practical joke or it was monster makeup?
Oh, yeah.
Or everything? They're like, oh
Yeah.
look, a monster. We have to kill the monster. It's like this. It just went from, even though it's not reality, but you know, you could kind of get into the story and see what it's somewhat believable. This is what technology they have. This happened. They split to two people, but at the very end, them just yelling monster. The crowd starts screaming and yelling, and then she loses her hand. Then she squirts everybody with blood. And it's just like, all right, it just went completely absurd from there.
So what is your
Keep in mind that's the last 10 minutes of the movie, though.
yeah? What is your overall opinion, what is your overall and your final rating, Joe?
Chris, check your phone.
Overall, it wasn't a bad movie. It was good. I enjoyed it. I like the special effects, the makeup, and the monster and everything. I thought it was really good. It's the ending of it just threw me out completely.
Fair.
From that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
How'd you feel about the pacing? The overall pacing of the story?
I loved it. Thanks, Jeff.
I'm gonna ban Dave, Jeff. I'm gonna ban him right now.
It was a long movie. It could have been shorter. I mean, it felt like that point Chris has where, there's a lot of sequences where they could have shortened it up some. Overall, the pacing wasn't horrible or nothing like that. It just, okay, this is getting a bit long in parts.
What'd you feel about the effects? How about the effects? The overall quality of the special effects.
Oh, I love the special effects. The entire thing was good. I agree with Dave on that one. I thought they were all good. The
high fives back.
Makeup and everything looked, like you guys say, it looks wet. It looked, great.
Don't explain yourself to anybody.
Right.
The wetter the better is the industry term that we've developed. If it's dry, it ain't our guy.
Let it fly.
Let it fly out the fucking window onto the highway. It ain't for us. If it's dry, okay. Sorry, Jeff. We're stepping on you. What is your rating, my good friend Jeff? What is your rating for this? Don't break my heart, Jeff. Don't break my heart. Don't break my heart, Jeff.
No, I would give this movie a 7.
You're breaking my heart, Jeff.
That's really good.
Like I said, Jeff and I are going to agree on everything from here on out. So
Tim is gaslighting you. Tim is gaslighting you, Jeff.
I think that Jeff and I look at the same things when it comes to movies.
You guys feel like this is what happens to Richard Simmons at all?
Richard Simmons.
I would have been more entertained if it was a Richard Simmons biopic that delved into the.
That would have been fucking amazing.
He's like, oh my god, oh my god. Sell me.
Instead of
sell
breasts out, want to see his nuts.
I'll see Richard Simmons' dick. I don't give a fuck.
Guys, why are we talking about dick? It could still be the butt cheek and the thing coming out of it.
No, they did everything in this movie. Like we'll see Richard Simmons' dick.
They showed bush.
They didn't show vagina lippage.
No,
come on.
Merkins for that. Richard Simmons in there. You got Bush with just a little penis head sticking.
Oh my god.
I think fucking Richard Simmons hangs brain. All right. I think he's fucking packing.
I hope I die in my sleep.
All right, Chris, this is your movie, so I'll go next and leave you for last.
Oh, best for last, they say. Best for last. All right.
Clearly, I do like this movie. I defended the pacing. I defended.
I can
the
put
end,
you.
and
I can put you down
like
for a 10 out of 10. Okay, 10 out of 10.
I didn't say 10.
I'm joking. Go ahead.
I do like this movie a lot. I thought the first time I watched it, I did not like the ending. And then the second time, third time, I started to understand that the absurdism is the point. I think it is a good movie, and there are more messages here than at first blush. Because at first I thought this was just purely the feminist struggle against male-dominated power, and then I see that it's these other things. It's the fight of age. It's the commodification of the female body, and it is, whether you want to admit it or not, this is very much about taking care of future you. In this movie, future Elizabeth and young Elizabeth.
It's not Elizabeth.
Young Elizabeth's name is Sue, but they exist
No.
at the same time in this movie. If
Disagree.
they didn't exist at the same time, you don't get that same effect. But you can see directly the effect here, and that's what horror movies let us do: is view things in an extreme so we can extrapolate what the norm is. We use up our bodies when we're young, and there's nothing left for old us. And maybe we should slow down. Maybe we should take some time to appreciate us. Take some time, not just what we give to our career, but what do we get? Do we have that human connection that makes things actually worthwhile at the end of the day? Sure, with my gigantic slong, I could be the highest paid porn star of all time. But I chose to leave that aside so I can find love and happiness with your sister.
With your sister. I'm a porn star cock. I decided to stay with your sister. That's salt in the wounds there, bro. That's a little you're swaying my boat right now.
Well, now people
My
are.
mom, by the way.
This is the twist at the end. This is the twist at the end where it's like, oh, the bad guy this whole time.
He's twisting his own dick right now. That's what it is.
Listen.
Sometimes I crack myself up. Sometimes
You lay on the dick you make.
This really is good. Look, Demi Moore, it's really a travesty that she's never been nominated for a major award before this, because
It's hard being a pedophile.
G.I. Jane was great. Ghost is, I mean, it's not my fucking bag of tea, but it's an arguably good movie.
Yeah.
A Few Good Men is one of, it's a cinematic masterpiece. And she absolutely carries her own with Tom Cruise, and Jack Nicholson. It is a great movie, and she absolutely carries her own.
She sells her character every time.
Yeah, Margaret Qualley, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and the Novitiate. About
If you can't speak Russian, then don't try.
Experimenting with her sexuality. Margaret Qualley, in her own mind, is a great actress. And did you know who her mom is? Mrs.
Qualley?
Sue's mom.
Mrs. Qualley?
Andy McDowell.
I did know that. I did. Yep. And it makes sense.
She comes from great genes.
It makes sense visually.
I was going to say, Dennis Quaid does really good in this movie.
Yeah, I mean Dennis Quaid is a national treasure. What is there to say about Dennis Quaid except Enemy Mine, The Right Stuff, Legion, Pandorum, Any Given Sunday, Dreamscape, Jaws 3D.
You wrote all these
Dennis
movies
Quaid.
down. I win.
Waterworld.
Waterworld is fantastic.
No, it's not. Fuck that movie.
What's Waterworld got to do with Dennis Quaid?
Waterworld is actually a good movie. It absolutely went over budget.
Why are we talking about Waterworld?
Absolutely tried to do too much, but Waterworld is a good movie. It's
I'm
not
confused.
as good as Kevin Costner's other apocalypse movie, The Mailman.
Why are we talking about Kevin Costner?
Yeah, but so why are we
I
talking
don't know
about
how we got
Kevin
to Kevin
Costner?
Costner. Tim brought up Waterworld. But
Well, in that case, Roy Schneider is the best Jaws protagonist ever.
Sure.
What are we doing here?
I was making a funny.
I give this an 8.5.
Oh my god.
It is a good movie.
Chris, I am so excited to hear.
No, you're not. You are lying to me
I am.
so much.
I am. Because
everybody's against me. I have had to row my own fucking boat. Me and Jeff spent 7 hours together after everybody went to sleep, and I was like, Jeff, we're the greatest, man. Me and you rowed this boat to the fucking ends of the earth, and Jeff is like,
first of all,
God, I wish you would die.
I told you that Jeff and I are going to vote unanimously on every movie from here on out. It's proving itself true. Here's where we are. But I would like to hear your unabated synopsis of your rating and your movie, because I do feel like you were stepped on a little bit.
Wow.
So I want to hear all your negative reasons.
I won't go that hard. But I'll tell you the big ones. Because we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here.
Even the big ones.
It can't last forever. As much as we love being in the whorehouse, whorehouse just can't last forever. But maybe if you're a Patreon, it can. Is an exercise show, before I get into my review, is an exercise show really that Hollywood? Is it really that big? Like, is an exercise show, like, I remember used to being a teenager, that was PBS was the only local station that showed exercise shows, and it was like 70-year-old women, which was fine for me because, listen, there was nothing else to watch. So
I think for network TV, potentially, like
an exercise show, we're going to draw
everything
that
in a vacuum, maybe.
So
Because like network TV is looking at everything in a vacuum, right? It's like you're in the 7 to 10 spot. How
Yeah.
well are you doing in the 7 to 10 spot? Not great. Okay. Comparative to these other 7 to 10
what
spots?
exercise show have you ever seen in the 7 to 10 spot?
I've never been up between 7 and 10 and watching TV.
Tim is lying his dick off to me right now in front of my face. In front of my face. You guys see it. 7 to 10.
I'm watching.
Okay, that aside, the pacing is so wrong in this movie.
It's abrupt.
Not the cinematography. There's some good cinematography in this. There's some bad cinematography in this. Some maybe some bad editing rather than cinematography. That last sequence is the worst. You just to film stuff that is unwatchable, and you're like, oh, that's art. It's unwatchable. We're watching a movie. If you can't see what's going on, yes, all that's happening is blood is spraying on people. I've seen that. You've seen that. All four of us have seen that in varying regard. You saw Evil Dead 1. You shut the fuck up, Beard. There's no reason for it to be that. What would be the word? Put your
Clandestine?
Epilepsy.
I think clandestine is what
I think epilepsy, because you need to put your
Okay,
epilepsy goggles
fine.
on to get some kind of relief from that onslaught of bullshit. But this movie was 2 hours and 20 or 30 minutes, something like one or the other. However, I didn't care about anybody in this movie. You guys obviously did, clearly, because you're like, chicken leg come out of her tit, and I'm like, I don't care if she's not a young lady. But to go the opposite, and this isn't just because it's Cronenberg, it's just because it's the movie that I can relate to the easiest to, is The Fly, is a complete hour difference in time, and I care about pretty much everybody on the movie more than what they're giving me in this. And it's not because a chicken wing came out of her nutsack. And the effects in this, okay, to the beginning, the cellular divide, cool stuff. Like Tim said, the eyeball splitting, cool stuff. Coming out of her back, cool stuff. It's wet. It's dripping with fucking DNA. Fucking science, brother. Wow. Oh my God, I'm into this. Oh, you got some boobies and some butts? What the fuck is this? And she's splitting down. Oh, this is fucking hot. This is a fucking horror movie. Oh.
Are you trying to get me to raise my score?
Yeah. Because I'm gonna lower mine. And then now she's got a fucking finger that you put on for a magic trick that is the driest shit you've ever seen. You buy that shit at a fucking KB Toys to hide a cigarette from your parents in a magic trick. Oh, she's got a fucking leg apparatus on. Wow, you put that on because you're in fucking theater group in 8th grade and your fucking teacher thought she was going to be in movies once. No, it doesn't work. It's so bad. And then you get to the fucking Witches of Eastwick Demi Moore, like full body costume. I could go up to her nose and do that, and the makeup's off. Immersion's already broken because it looks like she's wearing something. It's not good effects. I'm out. You guys made the effects. The effects
The wire work from that hand-to-hand combat is great. The effect of her
I'm not talking about the
smashing her face into the mirror.
I'm not talking about that. That's a whole other complaint. Just the
complaint.
Some things start dry and get wet, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, my bussy when I watch this movie. It's
so your bussy gets wet?
At the beginning,
it's wet.
I've led you down this path, and it is the worst old age makeup. And we've learned this from Dick Smith talking about Dave back to The Exorcist. The fucking Father Merrin. Everybody thought that dude was 80 years old in 1975. That dude wasn't 80 years old until 2002. That's the truth. That's the truth. But in this movie, the old age makeup is absolutely the worst I've about ever seen. Other than like Monsters in 1988, a Fox produced television show with no budget. Also produced...
The Golden Girls were older. The actresses were older when they filmed Golden Age. Or they were younger when they filmed Golden Girls than Demi Moore is when she filmed this.
This is true. This is true.
They were younger when they filmed Golden Girls than Demi Moore is in this.
Okay.
Estelle was the youngest one, and she was the oldest one on the show.
Who?
Yeah, Estelle.
Estelle. She was the youngest one of all of them.
I always thought she was like a 20-year-old, like in makeup, which, I mean, that's still pretty far from the truth, but it's kind of the truth.
Yeah.
All right, so, let me summarize my final points. It makes nudity not cool. I want to see butts and boobies. I want to see that. And it makes it to the highest order a crime to see that. And I'm like, no! I want to see that. And it's like, you shut
it's
no.
overt,
part of the
dude.
message of the movie is the exploitation of the human
I'm on your
body. So
hey, Beard, I'm on your side. Yes, I'm telling you that. 2.
Thank you.
2. No. Getting old is not horror, M. Night. Yeah. Unless you're a vain bitch like Demi Moore. Yeah. Unless you're a vain bitch like Demi Moore. I'm totally look at the beard color of the 4 out of the 3 of us. I don't know what I just said. Something like that. Backwards. I'm not saying you dye your beard, Tim. I'm saying you're graceful. You're aging graceful.
You know, I got my hair cut a couple weeks ago.
Oh, they dye it for you?
No, they didn't dye it for me, but they cut it, and I was like looking at. I was like, oh my god, there's so much gray down there.
Oh, that's the beginning. That's the beginning.
I like gray on a man, though. I think gray on a man looks great.
He texts me that twice a week. He's like, you don't dye that gray, Chris.
Gray on a man looks great.
I've already went over my effects. I don't think the monster design at the end. I don't think it's good.
It's so good.
It's not. It's just
I think there's a reason.
It's society, but not as good.
They're trying to avoid the smile problem of showing too much of the practical effect.
They show all of it. What do you mean?
That's why you feel like they didn't show enough. Is that
the only thing I'm not seeing is the straight butthole of the monster.
I thought it was great.
I'm not seeing.
It could have been a little bit wetter at the end, but that's really. Otherwise, I thought it was great. And when it bursts that tit, like at first, the gaping maw opens and you don't know what's coming out, and it's that fucking tit.
I'm gonna birth a tit on the next fucking episode. Then you guys will like me again.
I looked it up, and amniotic fluid does evaporate at 3 times the speed of normal fluid. So,
but did you switch to tequila instead of water? Your eyes are looking droopy.
No, I'm just
tired.
Apparently, real drunk off of 5 beers. So,
all right, last point.
Here I am.
Your honors. That's why I think Randy Quaid should be free and clear. Aside from him being clinically insane.
Okay. You fucking lose.
He did nothing wrong except for being a maggot.
That's all it takes.
It is all it takes. You know what? Your honor, on second thought, I changed my mind. I've changed my mind. I'll change my rating slightly because... But I don't think this is as good as what you guys want to. I'll be the dissenting opinion.
I think it's more thriller than a horror movie, but the last 20 years. You say otherwise.
I will say I have dropped it, but I've raised it. Because I am not the complete asshole that I would like to believe I am, or that what Dave has created. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. We got 2 7s and 8.5 and my 4. I got to write these down. I don't know that I did last week. Jeff and
I got
Tim.
last week's ratings for us. That gives us an average rating of 9.6 for some reason. Don't look at the math.
I am dropping this to a 1.7 real quick. I'm joking.
Hold on.
13. That gives us an average of 13. I don't know. Some reason you're
It does not give us an average of 9.6.
Dave knows I'm
categorically false.
I'm clinically math-tarded. So this is what he does to me. This is what he does to me, and I have to just accept.
8.5. I'm doing
gives
it
us
in my
an
head.
average score of 6.625.
That sounds right.
6. That's kind of like the most original score we've had, honestly.
6.2. Yeah.
6.62.
All right, that brings us. We didn't do this last week, I don't think. I may have been too drunk to accomplish it, but let me get this out of the way real quick. Moi has the lowest score of the week. I don't love it, but Dave.
Give me my glitter.
There you have it. There you have it. Gentlemen, Jeff, Tim, you guys both voted the same. Obviously, you are in more agreement with Dave than you are with Chris, and that's fine. I will start my new podcast next week. It's called, hold on. It is called Chris's Horror House That's Empty, except for him.
Better title than There Was One.
That's why Jeff's coming with me. Jeff's coming with me. You guys are. We did it, Jeff.
You can't put two talkers with each other. We'll never get through a fucking podcast.
Okay. What's your guy like? Good point. I mean, you gotta deem one of us one of us innocent, one of us guilty. However court works, I don't know. I'm a pretty good guy. I've never done nothing wrong, so that's real weird. That's real weird. You throw me under the bus like that.
No, I understand your points that you're making.
You just think I'm full of shit.
No, I don't think you're full of shit. I think you feel the way that you feel, but like,
we're not trying to. No one's trying to yuck on anybody's yum, but this is objectionably a good horror movie.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's solid, and it's the message it's trying to convey, which I think horror is always trying to convey a message, right? Like in early slasher films, it's like, don't be a whore and you'll live. And it's like, hey, it's 2010, 2012. It's like, it's okay for women to sleep with more than one man in their entire life. We won't kill every woman in this movie. That's cool. Okay, moving on. So like in this movie, I feel like it's like, hey, Hollywood is literally murdering women to meet perfection, to meet quota, to meet whatever. They're murdering women. And I think that this film sort of like spoke to that whole premise. And I really liked it. The nudity scenes were super fucking uncomfortable. They were super
you like them titties
and
like them butts.
What?
You like them butt boobies?
They were either super clinical or super over sexualized, which made me feel uncomfortable the entire time. So I thought that was a really good choice by the director and or cinematographer. Like
it takes the power of sexuality out of it. So you're not caught up on that unless you're like a real weird person and you're like, booby, like nothing matters except. So that's a cool way to manage that.
That's amazing that they could show tits and ass and it'd be like, here's tits and ass, and it's like, I don't like that. Like, that makes me uncomfortable. Like, that's a pretty rare thing in a horror movie. Like,
that still doesn't
snakes on
make
the plane.
that still doesn't lift it up for me. Like, it's a cool thing, but it still doesn't.
I get that.
It still don't make it.
So I agree that it is a good movie. So I agree with Dave.
All right, Jeff, you're gonna come with me. You're gonna come to the new show. Just me and you. We're gonna start up a new crowd. Me and you.
Is this movie gonna make you come, Jeff?
Why you
Is
gotta?
it gonna make me come? No.
Okay. No, to come with Chris.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I didn't finish my sentence. Is he gonna make you come with Chris?
go with.
Are you
Chris.
and Chris gonna come together?
If you're gonna say it like that, of course.
I don't know what you're wording.
Jesus Christ. I'm getting thrown under the bus from 17 different directions, and this is the worst show I've ever done in my whole life, but I'm a professional. I'm a fucking Beard, I see you up there. I see you. Come here. We're still friends.
All right. I'll give you a pity point for Bly Manor. Whatever.
I don't want your pity, man. You know me. I don't want no pity. I'm fine with bullshit. We totally buried Jeff, which is what I was complaining about the whole episode.
Jeff, talk to us. The floor. You've got 30 minutes. Tell us everything.
Tell you everything about what?
Between me and Dave, you're like, no, Chris is pretty much right, and Def is pretty much the wrong one. Dave, it's because I've had drinks.
No, definitely Dave won this debate, so.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry.
I don't have to agree with everything Dave says, and because I agree with most of the stuff that Chris says, still, I mean, Dave win. So.
Yeah. Chris. Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Jesus, man.
Jesus, man. All right. We may still be a house divided, but we're not a house divided.
Right. 100%.
And that is what it is. I'll concede victory. I'll do my 17 Hail Marys in my sleep and dreams.
It's not worth it.
I won't. But
Waste your time.
there we go.
What's next week?
That's what I'm getting ready to say.
Fried berry.
Jeff's first pick of the
Fried
season.
berry is. Yep. Jeff picked fried berry. Who's seen it so far?
Not
I've
yet.
not seen it ever.
Oh.
I know
You're
of
in
it.
for a treat. I really like it. I really like it.
I've seen Street Trash, which is what I don't know if it was his next one, but one of his next ones. And so
Fried berry.
I'm curious.
The guy that plays Barry, I love his acting for this. I love his mannerisms. So I think you're in for a treat.
But you know what we have to say about berries?
Barry! Yeah,
Fuck you!
there are three of us that were slighted by Barry that day. All
It's true.
three of us.
They're
It's a
all
wonder
men.
any of us were here after we nearly died of dehydration that night.
I remember crawling for 20 miles on my stomach, my bare stomach.
It's been 82 years.
And then finally
I
a
thought
police
I was-
officer stopped me and shot me.
I think I was single when we went to this. So I was just like,
Crystal?
no, I don't
think-
think so. I think we had broken up at that point.
Oh,
I don't
maybe.
remember.
I remember I thought I was going to witness Fonda murder somebody outside the hotel.
Yeah, I thought
the
we were
movie
going to
theater.
get murdered.
I
We'll
was
have to
I was the seventh wheel. So
Oh, no,
like
I was behind Fonda. I wasn't getting murdered.
I was the
I was
fifth.
behind
I was
I,
the fifth
I
wheel.
felt like I was the cause of
It was-
that, which was pretty
was-
special to me because I felt like real wanted, but at the same time, nothing's ever come of that. So clearly, that was not the case. So we'll have to come back
Chris
next
and
week.
Fonda,
Come back
Dave
next week.
and my mom and me by myself. But yeah, I was single at the time. Yeah.
We'll talk about this maybe next week, maybe not.
Perfect time for an anecdote.
Dave, you've won the shit this week, so I'll give you the final word. Maybe.
I will think about you, Chris, when I stand a little straighter, when I walk a little taller this week, when I command authority in every room I enter. I will think of you, my brother.
Wow.
No hard feelings. We'll be house divided again.
At some point.
At some point.
Maybe forever. Maybe forever.
Chris, I'll think about you until tomorrow when we play Call of Duty together. So,
unless I'm in the garage, like hanging around.
Speaking of which, Whorehouse podcast viewers, if you're out there, if you haven't chatted today, that's okay.
It's not okay.
Would you like to see more gaming on the Whorehouse podcast? Because we can make that happen. Tim can donate gaming PCs to those who don't have gaming PCs, which they should because it's 2025. But I can do that. But no, I think that the four of us gaming, I think Jeff in particular, with more prompts to his actions, like being shit at fighting games or something, I don't know, may spurn on some sort of conversation. So if that's something you guys would like to see, you can let us know. We'll do some gaming. Be a lot of fun. So I would really enjoy to game with these guys. So if you guys just like say that you want to see it, that'd be great. So
all right, we want to see it. We played a little bit of Dead by Daylight, the three of us, and it was a fighting game, Multiverse, which is apparently shutting down now, which is super.
It is shutting down. They got the developer got death threats.
What's a developer in 2025 that's not getting death threats, really?
That's true.
Which
Are
is
you even doing anything?
What's up? Q? What? You're a first time chatter. You're saying for fuck's sake, gaming. Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, for sure.
But be back here next Thursday. Maybe before, maybe after. Who knows? We may be doing some gaming. We have the capacity. But next week is Jeff's pick. Friedberry. But Dave absolutely wins. Dave wins the substance. Popular opinion. One more time. Dave, send us out. Final words.
Stay creepy. Creeps, stirs, the rabble.
Are you satisfied with that?
This is where I'm at when Jesus comes back.
Take your blue chew.
Oh yeah.
Take a blue chew. Go to bed with the dogs.
Whorehouse 4. Dave.
And if when you order your blue chew, use Whorehouse 4 at checkout and get 4 add-ons.
Yeah, get 4 boners with 4 Whorehouse boys. You done it. You did it. Come on, Beard. Come here, Beard. We're out. Until next week. Everybody wave bye. Wave bye, Jeff. We're all gonna wave as a group. Happy family, even though I mostly don't like most